days.
Yeah, it's been almost a
Last
week.
week, yeah, just because of the weekend and everything, and
Yeah, I'll be real. I wasn't doing anything yesterday. Like I wasn't gonna stream. I worked
I
on
feel you
stuff.
on that.
I worked on stuff, but I did it while I was watching TV and
Mhm.
like just chilling. So
Yeah, that's the best time to do it, man. Okay, so again, we're doing webcomics today. Technically, Andy's working on comics slash webcomics.
yep. After today, I'm gonna start building it into the webcomic format.
Mhm.
So that'll be fun to see how it works.
I'm trying to readjust all my tabs right now. I have like a million tabs open. For the computer. Get things situated, reference page, all that good stuff. Script. A lot goes into a webcomic. Don't really realize until you see my screen being a complete, like, cluster. It's a mess, man.
You know what? I think I need. Oh, nope, it's good. So I need to open my blinds, but
The sun. I
We're
close
good.
all my, the sun keeps, like, reflecting pretty badly on my screen, so it's like, nope.
yeah, my
Not doing
setup is 2 dinner trays, so like I can literally just turn them around.
this. Dinner trays. Dead.
Have I never sent you? I sent you a picture of my
I
setup.
think you
didn't
did, but it was hard to, like, see it a little bit. But I can, like, now that you say that, I was like, those were dinner trays.
Yeah, so I've got two. I've got 2 dinner trays. I've got my laptop on one, and I've got my tablet on the other one, so that I can position them like independently for the keyboard and for drawing with my chair, and I can literally have them anywhere. Like,
Did you just send me another picture of your setup, just so I can just be like, why?
okay, as soon as I post this on the gram, I'll.
Oh yeah, you posted Instagram. I haven't advertised on Instagram yet.
Pictures. Yeah, picture. People like pictures on Instagram.
I do usually like a story or whatever. But I'm gonna probably just do a big post and be like, hey, I stream. Once I figure out, because I'm still in the middle of like figuring out when I can stream. So before I want to make like an announcement, hey, I'll be streaming, around this time or whatever these days, because I'm still kind of working out my schedule, and I want to like make it consistent before like I post it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this sketch drawn out while you were talking.
Oh, screw you. Move fast. What the hell?
I didn't mean it like that.
Screw you. Move fast. What the hell? You're over here just talking shit, like.
No. I was like, while you're talking, I was like, okay, I'm gonna at least prepare a scene so I can work on stream.
Yes. And it looks nice.
What is that sound? Okay, I got a new tablet, so I think it's really big, so it's probably gonna be like less moving around, like zooming in, because it's not necessary on some things. Thank goodness. Guess that was my problem the whole time. I just needed like a very big screen.
Huh.
Because I have like 100 references pulled up, and I can't like see any of them because I'm so small.
Yeah, I will
having
say,
the-
like, having
Like I have them put to the side. But
yeah,
now that the screen's so big, I can like actually have my reference be super small and like still see it.
Yeah, I mean, it can make a big difference.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't like any of these pictures.
Still kind of getting used to using this big tablet though.
It does take some getting used to.
Yeah. I've been so busy this weekend, like, oh my gosh.
Yep, I'm having a hard time figuring out which of these pictures to use. They're not looking right. I'm just wasting time. Screw it. Honestly, I kind of hate posting on Instagram because as soon as I do, if I put a Twitch hashtag in it or any of that stuff, I just get blown up with bot spam. Promote here, pay us money, and we'll make you famous, Kohyuk. Jackasses.
I wonder if a lot of like smaller
Screw
like,
it.
use this service and if it actually works.
I don't know. Like, my understanding is that what you're doing is you're paying for bots. Like,
Yeah, that's pointless. We want actual like
yeah, I want people.
humans. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want people.
So, I don't think there's a good use for it myself. But what do I know?
I've used it once, and the reason why I used it once is because apparently I got credit or something. Like I was sent money or whatever to use it, so technically I didn't have to. It was free to use the service or whatever. That's the only reason I used it.
That's interesting.
It guess it worked okay. Okay. This is where it's we're here adding way too many like layers. It's like my line art has to have like different layers. Like example, this car is one layer, and then this person popping out of the car is one layer.
Oh, yeah.
And they're awfully close to this car. Like, back up, guys. Get away from the car.
I like how the thing you drew for me looks appropriately exhausted.
Like what? Like, oh, yeah. It's like a kind of happy but exhausted. And
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
Oh, I love it. It's very appropriate. And scarily accurate, except for the amount of hair.
I give you character.
I appreciate that.
Characteristics. You know, hair gives characteristics.
It does.
Plus, in my probably figure it out, but I don't know. I miss you with hair. Looks at Annie. Where did his hair go?
Yeah, I would say I
makes you
miss
more
it.
friendly. Fluffy is better.
Yeah. I definitely looked friendlier, but the glasses help offset that, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. You know, I like how like our icons or like our characters don't wear glasses, but we are wearing glasses like a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I wear glasses
like-
constantly.
I don't want to draw on glasses. That's too much work.
Oh yeah. So I just make glasses brushes now. So
Oh
I
gosh.
don't have
I
to
want to
draw.
see this, bro. You just pop it right on there, like poop, and then like adjust it.
Yeah. The dude Sajic, like a lot of his characters wear glasses, and he was like, I'm not drawing that shit over and over and over again. He's like, I draw that shit once, and then I make it fit. I'll tell you, learning how to make custom brushes in Photoshop has been
A lifesaver, I bet.
Yes, it's been a lifesaver for like patterns and for repeated objects and just for textures
yeah,
and
definitely.
stuff. Like, can't beat it.
I definitely need to do like full background like arts or whatever, and then just adjust that a million times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I kind of do along the way.
Yeah, I don't know if you can make brushes in the program you're using, and if you can, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I've seen people, we can borrow brushes, but I don't think people are like making their own brushes.
Yeah, that's been kind of really fun for me, figuring out how to make brushes and stuff. It's been legitimately fun. I had to go, speaking of glasses, I had to go clean mine, which is something that I have to do constantly. Does that ever end?
Cleaning your glasses?
Yeah, is that something that
now you're making me conscious about mine. Oh gosh, mine are dirty. I'm gonna clean mine right now. I'm gonna just stop in the middle of what I'm doing and clean mine. I usually clean mine like once, like every day, like right before I put them on or whatever.
Okay.
But like, that's better. And it's not something you think about, I guess.
I think about it constantly.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's
a you problem.
It bothers me so much.
That's definitely a you problem.
Of all the things I expected when I got glasses, fighting dirty glasses was not on the list. Like.
Okay, so my friend, who works in the back of the kitchen or whatever, so he gets a lot of like ingredients on him. So and he wears glasses. And like one day we were going out, and it's related. I know it's like a jump, but like one day we were going out, and I think he dropped his glasses, and I'm just like, dude, your glasses are just disgusting. Dude, it's just dirty. Like, this is the last time you cleaned it. It's not something you think about, I guess, for him. Definitely him, because he has really bad ADHD, and he's just kind of like. And then like I just cleaned it, and he's like, wow, he's like, it's fine, it's whatever. And then as soon as I cleaned it, I was like, this is so much better. I'm like, told you, like.
Yeah, so like my eyesight is good enough that I notice when my glasses are dirty. Like, I notice if there's anything on it. I don't think like, no one with eyesight good enough for that should be wearing glasses constantly, but I do. And it bothers me. Like, it legitimately bothers the hell out of me.
I guess I don't notice, for real, because I can't, do this thing called seeing.
Yup.
So, like, it's like one of those, like, definitely, like, when I take off my glasses, out of sight, out of mind. Literally.
Yeah.
Why am my eraser being so... Oh, stability is probably... Stabilization's, like, way off. I'm like, why can't I erase right? Because the stabilization was just, like, at 100. Like, okay, I do, like... When I like do the stabilization, I put it on 0 or 100. There's no in between. I'm like, you're just gonna be stable, or you're not gonna be stable at all.
Yeah, I generally have mine off, or I have it at like 20% if I'm doing something that I want to have really nice edges. But my the way I physically draw makes using stabilization kind of hard sometimes, because I'm used to making like inking strokes, and the stabilization kind of messes with that for me. I don't know, it's weird. It's just
But I guess it just depends on your style and everything, like,
yeah,
and what you're doing. And some people have like a messy style.
Yeah, and some people have a very controlled stroke, like where it's like very slow and deliberate. I don't have that. I do not have a deliberate motion like that, so too much stabilization really messes with me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I kind of got the when you told me about just draw really like just have fast strokes.
Yeah.
I've been living up to that, basically.
Yeah, and it works really well when you're using a program like you are that does vector, because it will correct a lot of your stroke. So you can move faster, and for me, I have to move fast because if I don't, everything is real shaky and looks bad.
What's the last time you drew anything traditionally?
Around Halloween, because like I still like to mess with watercolors and stuff.
Yeah.
I do that like if I need to not stare at a screen, but I still feel obsessively compelled to do artwork.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really long. What about you? Do you still?
I bought myself 2 sketchbooks, like these big sketchbooks, and I'm like, I'm gonna start drawing traditionally again. And then I haven't touched it, and they're gathering dust, and I'm so upset. And yeah, never just bought those for nothing. Did get around to doing that.
Yeah, I decided at some point that I wanted to mess with what is it? So I use watercolors, but I saw people using the gouache paints that are like thicker watercolors, and I was like, you know what? That looks kind of cool. Like I'd like to try something like that. And I got some around Christmas, and have like I did like one thing and wound up making like a paint cake. And I was like, oh, this is far more difficult to control than I expected. Maybe I'm gonna hold off on messing with this for a while. So that was my adventures with that. It's hard for me to put a lot of time into doing like traditional stuff when I know I've got other work I need to do. Like, I don't know at what point my life became like, oh, if you're gonna draw, it can't be for fun. You need to be making something, that's a product. But
Yeah.
here we are. And it's pretty consistent.
Drawn in like 5 days ish, so I'm struggling right now for some reason. I guess this is my technical warm-up page.
Those
I was
warm-ups
writing
are
script
rough.
yesterday. Yeah, I'm just like struggling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could like really.
Still looks too rounded.
Right, need to pull up a reference for this character. It's been a while. Jeez, when you realize it's really been that long, like can't remember some details of this character. Really be struggling right now. Jeez, it's been a long weekend, guys. So like I have like this cutesy kind of music on. I'm guessing you got your punk music.
Is that what it is? Am I doing punk music?
Was it punk? Something like that.
I guess.
Cyber.
Yeah, the cyberpunk stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have it like matching our theme of the comic. Kinda.
I have no cyberpunk in my comic.
What's it called? What was the genre called?
I don't know.
The,
I was like when I think of it, I call it isekai. Like that's what it's meant to be.
oh no, I'm talking about the music.
Oh, the music, yeah, it's
Yeah.
cyberpunk, I guess.
I feel like
I don't know.
definitely get the feel of like superhero isekai. Like you got like a combination.
I guess so, yeah. Like the
Like
premise
that's a
of it
new
was
combination. That is definitely like a new concept right there. Like, you know, superhero isekai. Like,
as long as it's a fun combination, I guess that's all that matters.
yeah. Keep accidentally like moving my layers around. I think it's like I don't know if it's like my pen or whatever. But when I click a certain thing and I like put it where it's like it shouldn't do any action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, make sure you're on the new. Are you on the new tablet?
Yeah.
Have you checked to make sure that your drivers are all up to date and all that good stuff?
Probably.
What do you mean probably? That's not an answer to that question.
I don't know if that it is.
Yeah, I would check that if you're having any kind of issues.
Yeah. It seems to do that all the time. Like. So, I kind of went, like, back on, like, what is it called? What's that phrase? On memory lane, like going back to memory lane or whatever, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
My friend was talking about, like old Disney movies and stuff like that. And, we used to watch and stuff. And then, like, I rewatched Spirit, that horse movie, and I was like, when is there ever gonna be talking the whole, like, 20 minutes, I'm like, they're gonna be talking eventually. It turns out it's just narrative the whole time. Like, they kind of, you know, and I was just like, and then, like, it's like one of those movies, like, I know I watched, I just literally don't remember any of it. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, wow, this movie was just, like, you know, it was like I watched a new movie because, like I said, I'm like, definitely, like, I know I watched it. It's just like, wow, I really didn't remember any of that.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. Especially with stuff that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. And, like, I just want to know, why is this horse so, like, personified? Like, it's like... It's like so personified in a way, and it's like, there was this TikTok I was watching too, which also kind of made me want to watch it, but it was just like, you know, oddly enough, it's like, it was like this whole, why do we find these Disney animals so attractive? It's because they have eyebrows. So if you literally just take away their eyebrows or something like that, they're just an animal. But if you give them eyebrows, then
They have
it's the reason
emotions.
it's like, okay, that is indeed a good point. And all these animals have like defining eyebrows.
It's because it's way easier to have a creature emote when you can mess with their eyebrows.
Yeah.
Fat hand. Come on. Oops, copy and paste this. I just look over and this guy's got such a sassy walk on your stream. Which one?
The one to the other character, not the character that looks like you.
Really doesn't look that much like me, I promise.
Are you
Wait,
sure?
This walk?
Yeah, it's like a sassy walk. Jeez, I feel so rusty. Oh my gosh.
It's only been a couple days.
It's only been a couple days. I'm jumping back into it. So that's the hard.
Let's see what this does. I'm curious about this. That's interesting. Oh, that's really cool, actually. Huh. That's a really nice way to be able to do depth of field blurs.
What you got going on?
Photoshop has this thing that's like depth of field blurring, to where you can set different points to do different blurs. Like, so if you want to have like a really far off place be really blurred, and then like have multiple levels of it instead of just like, oh, everything's Gaussian blurred, like it'll let you do that. It's kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea how long that's been a thing, but
Your character looks like, don't touch me.
oh yeah,
Why are you touching me?
yeah. This dude's like, He just wanted to
Like,
leave.
I'm
He just
just
wanted
trying
to
to
get
be
the hell out.
friendly. He's like, I'm just trying to be friendly. You're like, dude, don't touch me.
Yeah, like he hasn't
We
had
should
good...
do this. We should do this thing where it's like we dub each other's comics,
Oh
like,
my god.
like no context. We just like, okay, I think this is what's going on in your comic,
Oh, that sounds like fun.
and this is what's going on in mine. Okay, so mine's pretty self-explanatory, yes, but you don't know. Just come up with a story.
Oh, with this one? Oh shit. You got, hey kids, you want to buy some candy? Hey, you want drugs? I got drugs. Like, go the hell away, rich kid. You want to come work for me? No.
Panels ending up to be a little more detailed than I expected it to be.
That's what happens when
I think
you
it's
warm
because it has
up.
like, yeah, like I really jumped into it. Like,
You're like, I'm just gonna do a quick warm up. Nope.
yeah,
no,
the
you're
warm
not.
up is like, well, it's like the scene where it's kind of, what is it? The setting scene, or like,
Yeah.
it's like the setup. It's like, this is what's going on.
Yeah. Let's try this again. I like how it looked. Let's try it. Alright, so I want this to be more blurred. I want this to be less blurred. Okay.
My goodness, so many little details. Just starting off, so many details.
Yeah, look at you. Look at that. That actually looks decently well, I guess. Not so well trying to do one flap area, but looks pretty well doing other stuff. That's good enough. It's good enough.
I gotta combine all my layers before they get lost in all these like 50 layers. I don't see how you do. You have like 50 layers going on. I'm just like, yep.
I'm trying to reduce my layer usage, but I also like to work non-destructive as often as I can. So
You say non-destructive or?
yeah. So like, instead of having to worry about being able to erase far enough back to fix my mistakes, I would rather just be able to change a layer. Doesn't always work out though. That's fine. There we go. Okay, everything is sufficient, I suppose.
I think keep copying and pasting that layer. Like, I keep getting like accidentally copying and pasting this layer. I'm still working on a new, or getting used to this new tablet, so I'm like,
yeah.
Like doing random things, and I'm like, how did that happen? Like, I didn't press this button, but okay.
Do you have gestures on? Is it a touch tablet?
No.
Okay.
It's not a touch tablet at all. Even though they gave me a glove, probably that I haven't worn. They provided a little glove.
I love my glove.
I think it's to like so you can move across the screen easier and like so you won't scratch up the screen
And smudge
with your,
everything.
and smudge everything with your nasty hands. Yeah. I put it on right now. I just put it on. Yeah, I can move my hand around easier, I guess. Easier guidance and gliding capabilities across the screen.
Alright. Let's start with the I have built my layer and built my backgrounds. Now I have to try and make things look pretty. Pretty.
Progress. So is that blood on her face, or is that like
yeah, it's
She
blood.
still has it on her face.
Yep. Yeah. This is the panel where the fish lady is actually like, hey, let's go get you cleaned up. You look terrifying. She actually had monster blood all over her too, but that what happens where she was stays where she was. So
Yeah.
she can't bring the monster blood with her.
I do love how diverse, our styles are. Like, and definitely, like, Annie's comic is what is it? More action, more gore, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it'll definitely be more of that than yours is. I don't think
Yeah.
you've had anybody
Mine
get
is like
get whacked on
mine is
yours.
like supposed to be lighthearted, but it still gets dark. But it's doesn't get like, still kind of it's still kind of PG, you know what I mean? But it,
Yeah. Mine is not going to be PG. Yep. I have no interest in PG whatsoever.
I do want to do one comic where it's like a lot darker, I guess. Cause like this does have like it does get dark here and there, but not like it gets sad. Can get dark, but like not where it's like,
Yeah.
I just
Not
couldn't
like
finish
mine.
that sentence. I'm just
Yeah, I don't necessarily want mine to be. I'm not trying to do something that's like the grim dark, like it's nothing but bad type of deal. It's just a story, and it'll have some. I hope it has some funny parts. Like I hope my humor comes across as funny and not just fucked up. because it's supposed to be like there's supposed to be some funny parts in this, and I think there's some funny parts in it personally. Will other people find it as funny as I do? Who knows?
You'll find someone. You'll probably find someone that kind of matches your humor and stuff like that. I'm surprised people get a kick out of like my comics. You know what I mean?
Because they're great.
I appreciate that. Like my main one that I'm doing, it's not like as as much humor, but I still try to keep it lighthearted.
Yeah.
For Cat vs. Dog, it definitely has like I definitely try to keep the lightheartedness part to it.
And you keep that, but I also like the lighthearted but really dark humor, which I think you could do a lot of in that if you wanted to, as far as like having the gangster actually off people. Wasn't there one episode where like they had a body in the apartment or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love that kind of humor where it's like, oh, that went dark fast. I like it.
And I was still keeping it subtle and appropriate, like.
Yeah, and that's to me that's part of the funniest part. It's like there's a body in here, and she's just like, yeah, I want to watch TV. Like, get the hell out. But see how your characters deal with stuff like that tells you a lot about the character, in a subtle way, which is really clever. Like, you don't have to have your female lead like beating people up to show that like she's not to be messed with. All you have to do is just show her like, hey, there's a body here. Get it out of my house. Like. There's a lot to unwrap in that.
Yeah. See my shortcuts on city backgrounds.
Oh, I need to see it. Oh yeah.
And then drawing out shade.
Yeah, see, in the same way that you've got like your foliage and your tree brushes, you can also build out like building brushes and city brushes. They can be time savers.
I hope I didn't put it on the same layer.
You know, whenever you say that, it's almost guaranteed that you did it. Man, I really hope I didn't do this thing that's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, basically.
I did it.
There you have it. Look, it's my city landscape.
I like it.
And quick in there.
Good job.
And then like throw a little more highlight. Oh, it's dark. The sky went dark.
Everything's going dark.
And I think I'm gonna blur it a bit because it's not the focus.
That's it.
Do it more subtle blur.
Blur, the real MVP. Hit it with the gosh. I was kind of talking to Soren when I was doing a stream the other day, and she mentioned that she asked me a few things, and one of my responses was like, use reference, like whatever you got, and I told her about
always.
I told her about the Handy app. Have I shown that to you? I think I have.
Yeah, you were talking about it, but I didn't.
Yeah, so it's literally a 3D program that you can kind of have on your phone and download like hands and skulls and stuff like that, and then just move it around to be able to see the lighting.
Yeah.
They're like super useful, especially at conventions. Like, holy crap.
I bet that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of like holding your own hand and trying to bend it a certain way and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think my biggest deal is like hands, and that's it. I feel like I kind of have a gist of like, like I think shadows in general, for real. Like, I feel like I have a good concept of it, at least, to help me with my style.
Yeah, it's just, every now and then there's a weird angle.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, like, those are the times when I find that something like that, like a weird head angle or something, like you're really trying to push like a strong perspective or do something a little bit outside, or I've used it to great effect when I'm in one of those, like, I need inspiration moments where I'll just pull it out and move the head around and just be like, ooh, that's cool. Like, what would so-and-so character look like from this angle? And I'll kind of use that as a basis for doing like a character design or something. Like, it's so useful. But she mentioned that someone had told her that doing something like that was cheating. I was like, what kind of fucker?
What part is cheating? Like,
any of what I said, I'm not really sure. I just assumed it was like using a 3D model for reference or something. But like, it doesn't matter what you're using
to
for
use
reference.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's cheating, like, at all.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like,
literally how people learn to do things, is like
yeah.
by example of
Oh,
others.
really? Then that teacher. Okay, so Sora says it wasn't an art class.
An art class? A
So
fucking
yeah,
teacher said that?
yeah. So
What a
like,
fucking loser. I mean, no, I said what I said, and I meant it. Like,
yeah. Oh,
you
I
cannot.
definitely understand that. Like, okay, so there technically isn't any. I feel like there's a deeper concept, and there's no such thing as like, you know, real originality because like you're taking from something, but you're making it your own. You know what I mean? Like any type of concept, like clothes or like, uh human features or like, maybe a style of clothing. You kind of had to start somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Like,
I guess you could argue that as an exercise, not using reference can be helpful, but in a classroom, like when you're trying to learn, to say that,
yeah. So
oh,
like how are you supposed to learn how to draw? Like I feel like that only comes in handy if you're trying to learn abstract art.
yeah, again,
Like
like
if
as an
you're like,
exercise for a very specific thing, sure. But as like a general rule, hell no. There is no
references.
professional artist working that does not have to use reference. Like, if a client comes to you and wants to pay you to do something, odds are it's because they've seen something they really like and it inspired them to want to pay you money to do something, or you have to be able to follow trends and take that to a client, or like there's just the thought of like, oh, don't use reference, that's cheating. It's like, what, shut the hell up.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely. Okay, so she says, the teacher and some students were saying it was not okay. These people drew very well compared to me, so I figured they were right. But I like you guys more, so I'll listen to y'all. I
Okay,
appreciate that.
so there's this really interesting disconnect between the academic art world, the fine art world, and the practical working art world. So like, there are definitely fine artists who are like, oh no, my whole thing is I don't use reference, and I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you've got a trust fund, but you need to sit down and shut up, because the rest of us are trying to make a living, and the only way you make a living on art without just, having a very unique concept or being incredibly lucky is to be able to look at a creative brief and do whatever the client wants you to do with it. So, and
I mean,
oh,
everything's taken from something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and there are people who make lots and lots of money doing this thing called photo bashing for concept artwork, which is they don't draw anything. They literally just use Photoshop and the tools in Photoshop to take different images and put them together in a unique way and make concept art. And people pay big money for this.
a bit.
And it's like, you don't have to draw anything. So the people who are telling you those things, maybe in an academic sense, they feel like it's cheating for the grade. Sure. I mean, teachers can make up whatever bullshit rules they want in a classroom.
For real.
But, like, in a very practical sense, in the sense of, like, working in the real world, like 9 times out of 10, if you're not plagiarizing something, then they have no problem. Because clients, especially in what I do, I very consistently have clients that will bring in, like, either Google images they've Googled, or what's that? Damn it, Adobe stock images that they've kind of compiled to give you an idea of what they want, and like, this is very normal. This is what people do. Is like they grab reference and then they give it to you, and you've got to do something with it, or you need to compile your reference so that you can get close to what they want. That is a professional skill. You
Yeah,
gotta
okay,
be
so
able.
that's my sense of it. It's what you do with that information. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That uh that makes it, I guess, original. Like if you just copy paste, that's not original. But you need to take that knowledge and do something with it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what makes it original. Like, you know what I mean? So how are you going to make this your own? You're definitely taking a reference, or because the reference is the understanding of it. Like, if we don't have references and drawing out of our minds, like, things wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, everybody who doesn't use reference only doesn't use reference because they've used reference enough that they have
yeah,
a
yeah.
very solid image in their head of something already.
Hmm.
Like, otherwise, again, it goes back to like the old masters, like Leonardo and all those guys. Like, no, they didn't have reference to use. They just had to spend lifetimes, like, doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sketches of things to like burn that into their mind and into their
Yeah.
like repository of things. We don't have to do that, just like we don't have to remember phone numbers anymore because like we just
Yeah,
have
because
to
our
know what
phone
we
memorized.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
basically.
like you grab it and you use it for your purposes and then, you know, you move on.
Yeah.
And I feel like people who don't understand that, especially instructors who have, and here's another thing, like, I'm not trying, I don't know your instructor, they're probably awesome at what they do. A lot of instructors do not necessarily have practical experience in the commercial art world. Like, a lot of instructors are like fine artists and stuff like that who teach as a way of offsetting income while they're working on their other stuff, right? Which is
Yeah.
understandable. Like, you and Sin, damn it, Sin and Soren,
Yeah.
both of you are at the age where you're very soon, if not already, going to have friends who are teaching.
Oh, I work with people that she's actually younger than me. She's 21 and she's a teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And-
wow, you're
and-
really young and you're calling everyone else a child. Like, we actually had this conversation too. We were actually bashing each other for being a child. Yeah, she was 21 and we're all like 22, 23. And she's bashing us for being young. And I'm like, but you're the youngest one, you know, and you're calling us children. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
So-
and the only reason I bring that up is because you're going to start realizing that a lot of teachers are teaching not necessarily because they're great at it, but because they're using it as a way to offset income so that they can do what they really want to do.
Yeah.
So understand that a lot of teachers, especially younger teachers,
Probably have another job or something. Or...
may not have the practical experience to guide you in.
But she does teach younger
Impractical.
children, though. Like, very, very young children.
I'm talking about
So I guess
the
that's
art teacher.
Oh, the art teaching in
that Soren
general?
was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah, like, so just
Yeah.
remember, like, your instructors are going to do the best they can, but a lot of them may not necessarily have that practical experience that, you know, someone who has worked in whatever field you're wanting to get into has. So, like, I went to school for animation, but I did not have an animator as a teacher. I had an art history teacher who was running the animation department just because they were cheap and I didn't have anybody to really do it. So I did not have the benefit of someone who was in the animation industry, like, pushing onto me the things that you would want to know. I had an art history teacher who loved to talk about how anime was not real art. So it's like, you know, just because someone is great at painting doesn't mean they're qualified to tell you about graphic design, or doesn't mean that they're going to be able to give you like good practical information. So sometimes you just kind of got to be like, yeah, okay, I want the grade, but I don't want to listen to your bullshit.
Yeah.
let's just move on. But I think is, at least for me, like when I was younger, I kind of had this sense that like if you're teaching something, like you must know what you're talking about. But as I got older, I
Yeah.
realized that like that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not true, yeah.
that's not
They
necessary.
probably had, like, a book, and they went by the book. Or,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
they...
Some people, sure. I mean, you definitely are going to encounter people who are like very knowledgeable about stuff, but
Oh, yeah,
just
definitely,
as
yeah.
often, like you're going to encounter people who just are not I'm not as knowledgeable about the practical side of something. And it's not a knock against them, it's just being able to realize that will decrease your stress level, because you'll be hearing advice and you're gonna be like, like something just doesn't sound right about that. like you're telling me not to use reference, but like how the hell else am I supposed to do, all of this stuff? Like even like especially graphic designers, like graphic designers have to use reference because they're like, oh, I want you to build this logo for my company. Here's what we do. It's like, okay, well, that is literally your reference for the job you are being hired to do. So you need to know how to take that reference and use it in a practical fashion. And if someone has been telling you that, like, if someone's been telling you that you can't use reference and they've never taught you properly how to use reference and not just be like, copy this thing, like, oof, that makes the world hard.
Yeah. It goes back to the whole, like, what you do with it. Like, especially since, like, if it's a client that's like, hey, I want this and this, and I want this in it, and I want this specific thing in it, and stuff like that. I mean, like, you gotta take that. Like, you can't just come up with something, like, throw up an idea out of your mind that came out of nowhere, like.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't. Like, you can, but the odds of it working aren't very great. They're going to be like, hey, this company, like our company doesn't do anything with polar bears. Why is there a polar bear in my logo?
Yeah.
Like we make energy drinks.
Basically.
Like what the hell? Like, well.
It changes their whole brand for your design.
And I mean, there are other elements to stuff like that where, if you really know what you're doing, you can make suggestions to a client. Be like, I get that you're an energy drink company, but you may not want to promote that your thing is a blue pill because it looks like Viagra. So like, maybe you want to change it up. But like that's industry specific stuff that it helps to, I guess, to know your industry. And
use the reference.
Yeah, just a lot of academic entities are not focused on teaching you practical skills, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, they're like taxes. And the biggest thing, I feel like I've learned useless things in school that we're not using today. Like we need to be able to learn how to like cook, just like really emphasize stuff like self-survival, self-efficiency, stuff like that. Not like this useless knowledge. If you want to learn this useful knowledge, because like some of this stuff is like, like advanced math. Like that's for someone who wants to go into that field. You know what I mean? Like we should be able to choose, hey, we want, does this skill apply later on, or are we just wasting our time with these skills that we're literally, like, I feel like today I am using 1% of anything I learned math-wise from school, and plus I have a freaking calculator, and I have things that just do it for me. You know what I mean? So like I wasted hours and hours in math or something, and I didn't need it, or like certain sciences, and I didn't need it. You know what I mean? And
I personally am a large proponent of having a background in the sciences. Not necessarily because you're
some sciences, I feel like, but
a lot of it you want to have enough of a background in, not necessarily to be able to do advanced calculus, but if someone approaches you with something, you want to be able to call bullshit. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people can't do right now. It's part of the reason that we have such a problem with critical thinking and everything. Is like people are really focused on like learning how to test well, and that's what a lot of stuff is focused on, as opposed to like
testing and
critical thinking stuff that will help you way more. Like you don't necessarily have to know, like you said, how to do calculations out of your head because we have calculators.
But what you do need to formula.
Yeah, but what you do need to do is know how to find the formula that you need. That is far more practical than like someone who's not planning on being an engineer needing to memorize formulas. It seems much more important to take someone and be like, okay, so understand that like if you're putting up a fence on your property, you're going to need to know how to find the square like footage of everything so that you can get supplies. Like that's a very practical skill,
Yeah.
you know. But you don't need to necessarily know every formula. You just need to know that a formula exists for a thing and how to find it.
Basically, learning how to learn efficiently.
Yeah, like we don't.
Yeah. I think that's what we need to learn.
Yeah, we don't have to remember everyone's phone number anymore. So memorization things are very outdated. There was a time
Yeah.
when like you didn't have a phone in your pocket that could pull up
Oh
like
yeah.
anything you wanted to. So memorization did matter because you didn't have access to that. But now that you do, then the practicality of rote memorization is very, very pointless
Yeah.
at this
We
stage.
we actually do learn. I feel like still though, the only memorization is learning your own phone number so you could give it to others. Yeah, learning anybody else's phone numbers is not necessary because it's
Right.
saved on your phone.
Right, and there are some times, like, you know, where it is good to know certain numbers,
All right.
like for emergency
Sneezing my butt off.
situations.
Oh. Sorry, I went on a sneeze like montage or something. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, there are a lot of practical skills that are not
Oh yeah, definitely.
taught.
I
that-
am a
that could or
science
should be.
person, so I am a big science person. Like not down to the T, like atoms and stuff like that. More like I think I like behavioral sciences. That's my like psychology stuff like that. I love that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Behavioral sciences and stuff like that. But that's a me thing. I guess I don't care about like the more like stuff like biology and like I mean it's good to know that stuff. It's definitely good to know that stuff and how your body works and just kind of like but like I guess like past the functions like hey this helps you do this down to the T of it it's just like well you know do I really need that specific information unless I'm like you know a surgeon or something you know what I mean like otherwise as long as I know that this does this and you know I can function every day or you know I guess in an emergency like you know
yeah. I feel like
I guess
everybody
the
should take a
fucking,
first
like-
aid kit, a first aid
yeah
class at
definitely
least.
yeah like
Like-
that's another essential thing you need to learn in like school that they don't really teach you like another like home ec stuff like that just basic life skills and learning how to learn properly instead of you know pointless things and pointless memorizations and pointless
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that just comes from a system that is very, very resistant to change and very slow to be able to change. Like, schooling, at least in the US, is very resistant to like, oh, this new practice is has been scientifically shown to be great and to actually help do the things that we want to be able to do, but a lot of US schools, because their curriculums and stuff are mandated, have to go through like years of legislation to get stuff changed, and like it's not dynamic and it's not set up so that they can really take in new information quickly. And there's like a weird cottage industry of people who like professors and instructors write textbooks, and so like they can require people to use a specific textbook for no other reason than that they wrote it. Like,
yeah and,
like what the hell? That seems like a conflict of interest. Pretty hard to me. And then they'll put out new editions of their book that don't change like really anything, just so people have to rebuy a new book so that you can't.
oh yeah I hate that like I get it like education system is consistently changing and but it's still broken the
Yeah.
hell
Yeah, the U.S. education system sucks.
oh
Like,
yeah it does
I'm not even
definitely.
gonna
Like,
play.
we're
It
not learning the
sucks.
right things like we're not learning the right way you know what I mean like I feel like some things are very important like some things you know that we are learning that you know are helping us but we're not learning it the right way I feel like and it's like one of those like you know I feel like education's like oh we have a substitute throws a TV in the kids faces you know what I mean like do they really care Just write this down, get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like nonsense, busy work. Like, oh, well, the state mandated that you have to be here for X amount of hours, but I can only teach you so much in a day, so we're just going to waste a lot of time here. And if you happen to not fit in to this system very well, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated school, so it was just hot garbage 90% of the time. Just and not even, and it didn't have to be. That's the most frustrating part. It didn't have to be. It's just an old, flawed system.
Yeah.
With chronically underpaid people doing the best they can.
Yeah.
That's another sad part. Like,
yeah, that our educators are underpaid. So I mean, can't blame them for not caring. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, you know that a bunch of them do care, but you can only do so much inside of a broken system.
Oh yeah, definitely. Some though, I definitely have had teachers that just do not care.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to find that
K20,
everywhere.
thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. We were talking about school systems and stuff. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Eddie. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I don't want to talk too much shit about too much at this point.
Yeah, getting heated over our education system.
Yeah, it is one of, like, that's something that I will go off on pretty hard. Like, I had a not fun time in school, and like a lot of it was because the system itself is just out of date and broken and not set up to be flexible in any kind of useful way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, just like Soren was saying, she likes listening to us. I hope we can teach you guys, especially, you know, the younger audience, something. Maybe you'll leave with learning something new.
Nothing else, I'll teach you some new words.
We'll teach you a little bit about art, and probably mostly be art, but maybe some life lessons here and there.
I gotta say, that's probably one of the best things about talking to or being around artists is learning art, as impractical as it seems, is one of the most practical ways to learn about your world and learn about how it works. I will say this. Anybody who ever wants to learn about what I would call the less revised history of our world, learn art history. Like, they say history is written by the victor, so a lot of history is very weighted towards one side or the other. But art history, the history of a piece, the history of why it was made and everything, it's really, really hard to wash that. So, like, learning art history can be incredibly enlightening and illuminating as to things that were going on. Have the right teacher
for that. Have the right teacher for that. I'm sorry, but I am a terrible history person. Telling the wrong person. Like, I will admit, you are right about that. At the same time, I guess my experience with history has been terrible because I guess I haven't found the right teacher ever.
You need a teacher who's passionate about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, because I feel like all my teachers were just like, you know, coaches or like people that just didn't care. And like, you know, especially art history. Oh my gosh, we had the most boring teacher. Literally, people fell asleep in her class, and she just kind of let them fall asleep because it was just like, I don't know, it was a lost cause. We're just there for the credit at that point. Like, there was no learning anything. And I definitely feel like my education on like anything history has been ruined because of, you know, my experience with that.
Was that in high school or in college?
Oh, both.
Oh, man.
Neela K20 says, hello, it's been a while since I've watched folks stream, and your crypto design looks cool, so I have now followed you and will be lingering while I work. I appreciate that. Definitely hope you can learn something and from all this.
Yay!
And welcome back on to the streaming side since you haven't watched people in a while.
Welcome. Yeah, so like, okay, so my the teacher that I had for animation was not a very good animation teacher at all, but she was an amazing art history teacher. She was very passionate about not just understanding, like, this art came from this date, but she was very passionate about understanding, like, what the intent of the art was, like why the artist made this thing at this time. And I gotta tell you, a lot of artists made a lot of art because they were really pissed off. And, like, and art, throughout history, art has been one of the, I guess, sneakiest ways to call out people in power without writing, "Screw you, rich guy." So,
basically, yeah, it's very indirect, I guess.
yeah,
but
so like it's when someone, okay, so like writers have been persecuted throughout history because their message is very apparent, because they will write like so and so sucks. But when it comes to art, because you can interpret things and kind of spin stuff in a certain way, a lot of art from a lot of time periods has again been like a very subtle, like, fuck you to the people in power at the time. And sometimes not so subtle, but sometimes really subtle. And knowing that kind of stuff can really, I guess, can influence your art and like how you see the world.
You ever see that? What was it? It's like art that kind of very political art. Like it doesn't straight up, you know, say it, but like from the art itself, you can kind of tell what they're trying to portray.
Yeah, I had a literary literature professor who was very much the same way, where like, yes, you would read the stories, and that was important, but we would spend just as much, if not more, time discussing the author and like the time period and understanding like why this work was written, and it really does make a huge difference. I know it's simple, but just learning that Beowulf, like, because Beowulf's kind of like well known and everything, but like if you've got a good instructor who, you know, genuinely cares and they start telling you, like, yeah, so when you read Beowulf, you will notice that there are weird inconsistencies between like this pagan hero and then like Judeo-Christian imagery mixed in, and then you learn that the whole reason that that's the case is because the only people who could write back then were the clergy. So, like, in order to pass on folk tales, and, like, kind of any history, you had to be able to write, but if you wanted to be able to write, you pretty much had to be part of the church, because they're the only ones who knew how to read and write. So, like, learning stuff like that can help you put into perspective a lot of things, and the same goes with art, like, learning why an artist did a thing, whether it was in the past or, like, relatively recently, can really help put in perspective techniques. It can help put into perspective a lot about art, and it can also help you like understand some of the reasons that you do things in your art that you may not necessarily think about and may not realize that you were influenced by.
Hello, Wormat. Thank you for joining the chat. We're teaching today, apparently. Talking about educational stuff. I feel like every stream, I hope you guys can learn something. Share the knowledge, guys.
Share the knowledge, scare society. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm working on a new tablet today, guys, for whoever just joined. So, kind of, if my screen glitches or like I'm doing random stuff that's weird, that's because I'm still kind of getting used to the shortcuts or.
If anyone sees my stream and I'm doing anything weird, it's just because I'm weird. I have no technology reasoning at this point.
Yeah, mine will like
"That's
randomly
dumb,"
copy
I'm
paste.
dumb.
Yeah. Like I'll randomly be moving the line art around and like randomly like doing all this. Hey, I'm done with this panel. Oh my gosh, it took very long.
Let's see. Oh, it looks
Yes.
good.
Yes,
Looks very good.
it's kind of setting the scene, so I guess that's why it's like so detailed right now.
Hey kids, I
So-
want to buy some crack. Sorry.
You are not sorry.
You're right. How dare you call me out?
I know I haven't been posting a while on my webcomics. I kind of announced that I would post next week. Only because I'm trying to work on other projects right now, which I still can't announce. So, yeah, might be a while till I announce it. Maybe like a month or two for real. So
That's so cool. You've got secrets.
Yeah. You already know them. I don't know why you're acting like you don't know them.
Well, you didn't have to tell everybody. I was going to be excited in secret about your secret. But now they know I know. Knowing's half the battle. That means I lost.
Yes. Well, of course you would know. Like one of my best friends / like big brother to me, role model. You've been there for me for a long time. Okay, next panel.
Do it.
The next panel. I think we can do one more panel. What do you want, Andy? What you doing?
I've got, oh wow, I've got about 2/3 the page finished.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have 2/3 the page finished. 2/3? Half? A little over half. I do feel like I've gotten my process down to the point where this is going smoother and faster, though. So I am legitimately thrilled about that.
It's all about learning. I feel like I'm relearning because I'm working on this new tablet, so it's like I feel like I can't draw today, I guess.
This too happens to all of us. That's another thing. I don't know why people did not tell me earlier in my art life that warming up is legitimately a thing you're gonna have to do 9 times out of 10.
Thanks for telling me that, Andy. That's the one thing you didn't bother to tell me.
I didn't know either.
You usually are the one teaching me,
well, okay, so when it comes to doing professional work, there were some things I could not tell you about because I didn't know about it either at the time.
No.
But now we both know.
Yeah.
When you get up and it's the day job to draw, then you need to warm up, just like if you were going to be exercising or anything. And a lot of it's because drawing is way more, or not necessarily just drawing, but making art for long periods of time is a physical thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It just is. You're gonna have to get your arm warmed up, you're gonna have to get your brain warmed up, and that is just.
That's probably why I'm struggling. This last panel I just did was really jumping into it, so.
Yeah. Anybody who hears this, if you sit down to draw, and the first like 5 or 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, feels like a struggle, it's okay. That's normal, to be honest. Like, at least it's normal for me.
I'm like coming into this, I'm like, I'm sucking already. I can't get things right. I haven't drawn in like, 5 days because I have to work on the weekends,
Yeah. But you got this. It's okay. You just gotta hit it for a little bit and relax, and just find your groove.
Get back into it.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes me like 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes me an hour, like, to really feel like I'm like ready to get going.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was definitely something I did not really understand at the beginning of all this.
Yeah, I feel like definitely, I got a degree in art and all that stuff, but like most of the stuff that I apply now is what I've learned from you. Most definitely. You're like, oh gosh, what have I done? Well,
I've ruined one.
I mean, look where I am now. I'm drawing webcomics.
That's true.
It's what you do with the information. Yeah. And I gotta thank you for that.
I gotta thank you. Like, I like seeing people succeed, and getting to watch you have success with this is inspiring for me too.
Yeah, and I'm glad I can like return that inspiration. And like, when you said you were gonna start like doing webcomics or comics, like, and stuff like that. Like, I know you've done comics before, but like do something, that you want to do. I was getting excited too.
I appreciate that.
And like, you have no idea how excited I am for your comic to come out. And I'm like, can't wait. Things look really good so far, and like, I feel like we have similar humor too, so like, I just definitely feel like I'm gonna like your comic. Oh, is it Pride Month already? Shadow Papel says, it's Happy Pride Month. Well, that was really quick. I like completely forgot.
Yeah. I don't know. Every month's Pride Month with the people I know, so.
Fair enough. For those who don't know, I'm Pan. I need to know the person, on a personality level, to be attracted to them. If you're a shitty person, I'm not gonna like you. So.
Is that not just normal?
I think, yeah, that is a normal thing, but it's like, I also am like attracted to a good personality. Like, let me look it up. Look stuff my own, okay, it's not limited to a sexual choice with regards of biological sex, gender, or gender identity. So yeah, like I don't care that you're a guy or girl,
Basically, if somebody's not shitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do have girl crushes. I do have, there's a girl at work, I got a crush on. A relationship is like flirting, but like we both have boyfriends, so it's like, we have a understanding that
you just like to make guys nervous.
Yeah. No. It's just like we enjoy each other's attention. Yeah, romantically, yeah. So Neela says Happy Pride Month. I am pan-romantic, asexual myself. Yes, look at us. I love the diversity in the chat, guys.
And asexual.
Yes. If you guys are interested, this webcomic does have, what LBGT, whatever, it could be saying the whole thing wrong, stuff in it. I do introduce like a few characters who are gay, bi, pan. Right now, I know the main characters are straight though, but that's kind of it goes deeper, like, of course, like
Are they straight or are they just in a hetero relationship?
Are they a what?
Are they
Literally,
straight?
right now, I am drawing a lesbian. Right now, I am drawing a lesbian. Okay? Like,
No,
this
I'm just
character
saying.
I'm
I'm just
drawing right now
saying.
is
Like, just because they're in a hetero relationship doesn't mean they're
oh
straight.
yeah. Oh, I mean, true. That is very true. I am in a hetero relationship, but I am not straight.
I am perhaps the
Yeah.
epitome of straightness. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Of course, I have told my boyfriend I am in like, you know, like yes, I do flirt with other people, like this girl, but we have made it known that it's just like attention reasons, not for like anything past that. We're not pursuing each other or anything. It's like we like each other's attention, of course.
It's too dark. It's a dark spot. Damn it.
And I think communication is a very important thing.
Yes.
In these type of relationships. One of my best friends, he is in a gay open relationship, and he communicates with his boyfriend about like if they're adding another person for a temporary amount of time and that stuff. You know what I mean? Like they were very communicative about the whole thing, and I think that's very, very important in any relationship.
Oh shit.
Okay, I know I'm talking and not drawing, so draw.
No.
Talking with my hands, guys. I'm doing that thing where I'm talking with my hands, and like, you guys don't see it, and like I haven't drawn a line on the paper, and not paper, the screen.
You're educated, folks.
Ichora says I'm pan-romantic, but still heterosexual. I guess that's. I guess I can say I'm kind of that. There's a lot of descriptions of what you are. I just kind of like to keep it simple. Like I'm pan. Like I could be bi, pan. I think I'm more pan. Okay, so here's another description. Many pansexual people describe themselves as being attracted to people based on personality, not gender. Note that pansexual doesn't mean you're attracted to all people. For example, heterosexual men aren't attracted to all women and vice versa. So there's that. So I'm not attracted to all men. I'm not attracted to all women. There are specific women and specific men. You know, I do like. And this girl, you know, I'm telling you, I'm flirting with. She has just this. She's so adorable. She has this very nice personality. Everyone loves her, and Sheila says, I like to think of myself as a pancake since I'm pan-romantic and asexual, like to associate cake with aces. Nature says, all I want in a partner is that they're a homie. I mean, there you go.
It is important to be homies with your partner.
Yeah, right now I'm actually, perfect timing, actually drawing you know, a character who's identifies as a lesbian. Can't believe the last month is already over. Like, oh my gosh, like time is really flying. I can't believe it's already like June. Like, oh my gosh, slow down, time. Got so much to do. You know, everyone's at the beach right now. I'm sitting here like in this like hot but I don't want to go to the beach now because it's so crowded. Like, you know what I mean? I like going to the beach when there's like no one, and that's nice. So I'm probably gonna go more when like school's back in and you know, there's not a lot of people. There he goes, copying pasting again. There's that random copy and paste. Like I don't know what I'm pressing, but it randomly copy and paste like my another thing I was working on. I don't know why it does that.
Is it something on your pen buttons?
No, I set my pins where it's like no action. And then like I do have the okay, so this is what it keeps copy and pasting right here. Like this is this is another scene that I was setting. It's a city scene, and then I have it to the side because I'm done with it. I don't like really like exiting out. Like I have a terrible habit of leaving all my tabs open, and that's really, I'm just over here like I leave all the stuff I'm done with, and I just kind of push it in the corner instead of like saving it, exiting it, moving on. I like to leave it open to kind of set the scene. So it's like right now, my last panel, I have it up on the side of the screen. Right now, you guys see just one screen. You do not want to see like my screen in general. Whatever. Oh, well, I'll see you, Anila. Thanks for joining. I will be here tomorrow around lunchtime. Probably talking to Annie about art again. So come join us. Oh yeah, what was I talking about?
Your buttons.
Yeah, my buttons. Or no, like just my screen and buttons in general. Yeah, like. So like, I think I have it on the side, and then it keeps like copying and pasting that over to this panel, and it's like stop copying and pasting like a whole different page onto this page.
Yeah, that's weird.
I may be button matching because I'm not like my hand positioning. My hands are really small, and this tablet's like really big. And I'm like, maybe I am pressing it by accident or whatever. Tony, you gotta go too? Well, thank you for joining. I hope you can join me tomorrow sometime as well. Same time, same place. How long are you streaming for, Andy?
I don't know. Wife's
I know
not
you're
here.
off,
I got
so-
nothing to do.
Oh,
Like,
thank you for...
Generally, the reason I stopped streaming, I'm sorry. Thank him.
Thank you for hosting each other. I appreciate that.
Nice. Generally, the reason I stopped streaming is because I either have to go back and do other work, or because my wife doesn't want to be on stream. So if I want to like hang out in the same room with her, I'm probably not going to be streaming. But she's not here. She can't tell me what to do, so I'm just going to hang around.
Why does she want to be on stream?
You'd have to ask her.
Is she like camera shy or like voice shy or?
I don't know.
Probably a preference thing.
Yeah, I don't. She just said she didn't want to be on stream, and I'm not gonna push any of that on anybody. So
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's just like, alright.
She said what though? What did she say?
That she doesn't want to be on stream.
Oh, she didn't want to be on stream. I thought you said something else.
No, she just doesn't want to be on stream if she's not intending to be on stream.
Yeah.
So I can't just like sit here while she's doing something. Like right now, I'm set up in my living room because I was working in here last night. I didn't feel like moving everything to the other room if I was going to be streaming without her here. So I'm just chilling in the living room.
Yeah.
Enjoying the big window. I'm like a dog. Like, I want to be where the big window is.
Yeah, I'm my office is set up in the living room, so there's a lot of space, and so like I might hear kitchen noises from my sister or like my animals. Right now, inside Malloy. I wonder if my sister let him in the room. I mean, he usually sleeps a lot during the day, and then he's like wrestling around at night a lot, and all his energy's out at night. And I'm like,
nah, you gotta wake that dog up.
Yeah, I need to take him out sometimes. But like once I get my schedule sorted out, I'm definitely taking him out more, let all that energy out.
Yeah.
During the day.
I need to figure out. Do you stream when you're drawing? Are you streaming from your laptop? Or
Yes. So I am streaming from my laptop. So it's like I'm drawing and streaming off my laptop right now, and everything else, like script, just extra screens. My chat is all on my desktop, so that way I can like, um,
I
yeah.
got
So
you.
that way it's like not running anything excessive.
Yeah,
I know like
yeah.
I know I got a gaming laptop, really strong gaming laptop for that purpose of trying to run like unnecessary things.
Yeah.
But I try not to give it too much, so it's literally just streaming and drawing right now, and nothing else, and music. That's that too, and but anything else, I try to have like I have like 50 tabs open on my desktop right now. It's not necessary, but
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's once you get your schedule sorted, just need to
oh
come
yeah,
hang out.
definitely.
Come hang out over here and
It's
draw.
oh yeah, definitely.
And if that's your setup, then we can definitely get you
Yeah.
set up.
Mhm.
Because I have two
Definitely.
sets of of coffee table stuff. Coffee table? What is it? Whatever the hell I'm doing. Sorry.
I definitely do need to need to come over sometime. I got stuff to give to your wife, so just holding on to your wife's stuff. Like you gotta see her eventually. I don't want to mail it because I don't really trust, you know,
Yeah.
delivery of such fragile things. Like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nope.
But yeah, but once things become like more stable and more, you know, everything, because I'm still kind of my schedule's still kind of crazy right now, so it's not
Yeah.
on a it's not inconsistent. That's why I did post my schedules of when I'll try to stream, um, or whatever, and I keep changing it. So keep an eye on that. I did put it on Twitch. Eventually, when I have a solid schedule, I'll post it. And try to keep with that solid schedule. You know what I mean? So.
Oh sure. I don't have a solid schedule either, so I can't
Yeah.
say much. It's like,
Yeah.
can I
I
stream
mean,
today?
the
Let's
lunch thing
find
is
out.
this lunch stream is working out. It's like it's waking me up. It's getting me started. You know.
That's good.
So far it's looking like weekday lunch every day like you're doing. So
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
think that'd
nice.
be a
I
good
mean,
time.
like,
Yeah.
doing it like this gives me time to like, get some work stuff out of the way,
Mhm.
and then kind of wake up. And by the time I get to this, I'm generally relatively warmed up, so I
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
hop into stuff.
I did my first hand drawing for the day.
Those are always fun.
Yeah. Probably sketch this out. Sketching always helps me. Okay, getting rid of that sketch. That's a messy sketch.
Sketching, that's what sketching's meant to do. It's meant to be helpful.
Yeah. What layer did I put this on? Now I'm over here like struggling which layer I put all this on. My struggles will.
I will say one of the best things about not having a lot of people watching my stream at all is that I'm not too concerned about flipping the screen around.
I noticed your screen has been more flat. Have you been working without like turning your
Yeah,
screen?
I haven't had to do a lot of it, to be honest.
That's good. Makes the viewers go crazy.
Yeah.
Turning their head upside down.
I understand that it's, yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming having the screen, like, flash around a lot and stuff.
I do feel like our streams are more good for tuning in and leaving us in the background and checking back up on us, you know.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons I actually wanted to find some, like, fun music, because, I really wanted to have, like, you know,
Just
you can
punch
just
my mic.
The hell did it do to you?
I was trying to turn my hand to do this, like, POV of this hand, and, like, I punched my mic. Okay, what's this app called?
Which one?
The one you're talking about with, like, the hand.
Handy.
Yeah,
It's called Handy.
Handy, okay, I need to just start using that. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Like, just download it. Download it on your phone right now.
I'm downloading it on my phone right now.
And pull it
Give
up.
me a second, guys.
Yeah. Anybody who's watching this, Handy is like an iPhone Android app that lets you, like, it comes preloaded with like hands in different positions, and I think you can position them too. And it comes with
So there are several Handy
skulls.
art reference tool.
It just, yeah, that's probably it.
It's $3.
That sounds right. It's worth it.
So,
It's a one-time $3 buy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely using it. So.
Yeah, because like you can set. Not only do you have like the 3D image, but you can also move. I think you can move a light source around it and set up multiple light sources. So like, if you ever want to draw a face, with like a light source in a specific place, but you're not really sure how the shadows would fall and all that stuff, then like you can use that. And it's super useful, and then you can drop another light so that you can see where your rim lighting would be.
Hold on a second, guys. I gotta go grab my wallet. I said I'd be right back, but it says taking a small break, but I'm not taking a break. I'll be right back.
After these messages, she'll be right back. Anybody remember that? Just me? Alright, so now that she's gone, now we can all talk trash behind her back, right? She'll never watch all of this stream again to find out. Okay. Where am I? That works. What's that? Okay.
Okay, I'm back. You weren't doing anything too crazy.
Talking mad shit.
I bet you were.
just the whole time. There's nothing you can do to stop it either.
Should have left you mute on my Discord.
No, I behaved. Yes, chat,
Yeah.
and I behaved. Yes.
Okay, I am trying to pay for this app so I can continue this drawing. Like, I do struggle with hands the most. I feel like some positions are like, yeah, I got it. And some positions are like, what the heck? And it's like such a struggle.
Yeah, that's normal. Most people, like, hands are very complicated. Hands, feet, and faces are very complicated.
Yeah.
It's easy to struggle with. Like, a
It's
lot of
like
people,
easier with the reference.
yeah, and like once you do it enough, it gets easier. But there is never, like, I don't know anyone, like, professionally who is just like, yeah, I never have a problem with hands. Like, that's it. They're complicated. They're very complicated things. So
Even though we see them all the time.
that's the thing, though. We rarely see them because we don't really pay attention to them, and we almost never see them from the angles that we draw them at.
Oh, I mean, that is true. That is definitely true.
Just like faces. Like, we see faces all the time, but how often do you see someone's head from, like, a 3/4 angle slightly tilted down? Like, it's not often. And you definitely don't see it that often in specific lighting. So.
I'm trying to find the app. It's like hidden on my phone. Why am I struggling so hard? Like, my struggle be so real right now.
Sometimes the struggle bus just finds you, and that's
Yeah. Okay.
it's all aboard.
Okay, here we go, here we go. Wait, how do I turn you? Okay.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Like,
It is cool. Dude, that's what's up. Okay. I'm back from my quote-unquote break. Not really a break, it was me paying to learn how to draw this. Okay, screw this reference. Okay. Aiden is trying to cause trouble right now. He's on my desk.
he is a cat. Say no more.
Probably drawing this hand like extremely big, but I'm about to adjust it. Right now I'm worried about just drawing it, like the hardest part.
Oh yeah.
What's going on here?
Oh yeah. Just need to adjust the thumbnail.
Yeah, probably just make it a little smaller. The magic.
No, get rid of the tangent.
What?
The tangent. Where your knuckle of your forefinger meets that line with your thumb, that tangent line.
There?
Where no.
Or is it?
No, where it looks like a 3 point, like 3 lines meet to make 1 point. To your left.
Is it right here?
To your left. Yeah, right there.
Here? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
tangent. Oof.
Oh, it's supposed to be like that. Right?
What? That's good. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like where your thumb meets the top of your knuckle there, that having a tangent line like that makes things look a little weird. So like you would probably want to pull your finger line past where your thumb is.
Come on.
Hold on.
Okay, so what do you mean? Okay, yeah.
Alright. You on mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So like
This hand struggle is too real.
yeah. So like the hand's pretty good, but like this
Yeah.
this right here is called a tangent thing, and it's where you got like the point of this knuckle, like where your thumb is. You would never want those lines to intersect, like 3 lines intersecting there. So what you would probably want to do is like this part of your hand is great, and your thumb is actually going to start like here, and probably be, something like that. But you don't even have to have it anatomically correct. What you just want to make sure that you've got is just this. Not lining up with
Let's see, you got that line,
yeah, you just don't want this line, like, damn it. You don't want this line lining up with this point. Like, you want to offset it to where it's a point that ends. Come on, brain.
Okay, how does this look? Or is that still kind of...
Yeah, it's about where the top of your thumb is meeting your knuckle there. Like, you don't want.
Did I see this line? I see it in the reference.
Again, this is
say that.
So like this. So like you would never really want, like, you don't want this line to meet here. Like, you want to pull your thumb over to where it's not 3 points intersecting. 3 lines intersecting into 1 point. Like, you never want a line to end at a point where another line ends. Like, you want it to end, like, in line with a line. Does that make any sense?
Kinda.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to watch your screen because it's like
look.
It may be delayed a little bit, and I'm just like, what?
So look,
what?
here's the hand shape that you've got going on.
Okay,
right?
yeah, you got that handshake going
Right.
on. So
When you put your thumb ending here, that's called a tangent. So like you've got these points that are meeting, and you don't want that. So what you want is, instead of that line ending here, you want it to end to where it's not ending where other points meet. That's called that's a tangent line. Those are just visually off-putting.
Oh, okay.
But
So
your
you mean
brain
this
wants
line
to
right here?
connect. Yeah, your brain wants to connect those points, so you have to stop it from doing that.
Are you trying to psychologically dissect me right now?
No. I'm just saying, like, okay. So like, you see how the paper?
I see what you're saying though. Okay, so what about this? So now that I adjust it, because I think you're talking about this point right here.
Yeah. Have it. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like.
just have it over.
Yeah. And then
Is that
you would
a
want to move the back of
subconscious thing that
your
we do?
thumb. Yes, it is. Like, as humans, like, we want things to line up. So you see how like your well, after you do that, like the paper kind of lines up with your sleeve underneath that hand. So you see how the line on that paper almost matches where that sleeve would keep going for the left arm?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
never noticed it did that. Wow, what the heck?
yeah, like our brains try to make things line up. And they're called tangent lines. It's something that we have to like consciously watch out for, because having lines intersect in specific ways, it's just something our brain tries to do for like symmetry reasons and shit like that. So you would either want to push that. I would take that further out. So move it out like past.
I kind of put it inward, like hold on.
Yeah, but don't let them touch like that. Even now, that's kind of a tangent.
Wait,
so
on.
like,
Is you talking about this line now?
no, like right where you were. Let me show you.
I know I'm delayed, so I'm just like,
No, it's
what
okay.
is he talking
It's okay.
about?
It's okay.
Let it catch up.
Yep. So again, like you see how this line and this line meet and become like one line. Do you see on my screen? Yeah. So what you would want to do, that's another subconscious thing. So what you would probably want to do is take this line and just push this shoulder out to a point where it either ends like this, or maybe even pull it down a little bit further, because this is, more in the foreground.
It's kind of like she's backed away. So how does this look on my screen?
That's better. Yeah. You never want to have them connect at the same point or be at a close enough angle to where they look like they become one line.
Yeah. Psychology lessons, guys.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, so like on your collar, right? You would generally want to pull that down just a little bit further, so that you've got more of a break there. And it's not that it looks bad or anything when you do it. It's just something that if you're conscious of, it just adds a little bit more dynamic function, I guess, to what you're doing. And it's just kind of an easy way to make sure that stuff isn't getting muddled.
There you go.
So even there, like, you may want to pull that collar line either further in if there's something above it, like if is that a sweater?
It's kind of like a vest.
Yeah. So this is just being nitpicky, but if you want to add more volume to what you're doing, then you would either put that further above the collar, instead of having your collar line and your shirt line meet like that, then you would push one forward or one backward. So like, again, like right here, you've got these three lines that are meeting at one point. And again, like, it works fine for what you're doing, but for just a little bit more, you can offset that and add just a little bit like a little bit more volume to that collar. If that makes sense.
Oh, am I gonna? Yeah.
Or alternatively, if the collar is supposed to be underneath, and like this is supposed to be the bigger part, then you could just as easily take this and like, have that be what's on top. But yeah, it's just not. It's just dumb nitpicky shit that really doesn't matter, but can add just a bit of volume. Like, just doing that makes that collar feel like it's got more volume to it.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Making my art better.
That tangent thing is stupid hard too, because like your brain wants to line stuff up. It wants to have parallel lines. It wants to have intersecting points. Like it's just something our brain likes to do.
Wow, okay, so it's my undo button. My undo button will like sometimes copy and paste it.
That's weird. What is the undo command?
It should just be Control Z.
That's really weird. Sorry, it shouldn't. That kind of thing shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I probably just need to restart my computer after, so.
That generally solves most problems.
Can you hear that clattering?
No.
My dog. His nails. And then it looks like Aiden is sleeping where I put my feet. I have this box, and I have a habit of like putting my feet up like on a small box just to kind of, I guess, have my knees closer to me, and just this awful position I really shouldn't be in, but I don't care. Bad posture. Other problems. More of a comfort thing, and he's laying on it right now, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's where I put my feet.
That was where you put your feet.
And now I'm petting him with my feet, and now he's like turning on his stomach.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
you have lost that. You've lost that forever once you pet him like that.
Hold on, I
That's
gotta
his
send
spot
you
now.
a Snapchat. Okay, back to work. He's still laying on his stomach like, continue petting me, please. I'm like, I gotta get back to work. I go back to work so that way, I can feed you.
That's adorable.
He's still laying in that position. Oh my gosh, like, just one more Snapchat real quick. As you can see, that's where I put my feet.
Yup. Yeah, that cat ain't moving. I bet it's warmer there too, beside the computer.
Oh yeah. Actually, I have like this fan. This computer is like has a fan in it. I'm actually touching. It's like not hot at all.
Wow.
A supercomputer, after all. It was built by my genius cousin.
Very nice.
He's only what, 12, 13? He's probably 14, 15. I don't know. He's a teenager. But you know, he's like you know, my baby cousins. So it's like, to me, they're all gonna be my baby cousins. They're all younger than me.
Yeah.
And doing two things at once right now. He's just being so cute. Since you enlist Snapchats instead of actually.
I have to work. Look at my cat.
I can't focus right now. I'm having a hard time.
I can't focus.
Okay,
My cat's being
last
adorable.
thing. Yeah, he's being adorable. Get distracted. Look at it for a second. Did it again.
Looks like he's going after. What's that cord for?
It's my headphones.
Oh, yeah, he really likes that cord.
He's actually pretty chill about like cords and stuff now. It's usually like if it has like a fluff on the end or whatever, that's when I freak out. Now he is using my foot as a pillow.
Yep.
I cannot move my foot now.
I'm stuck here forever.
After this panel, I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get hungry myself.
Yeah, to eat.
Not that that's anything unusual for me to be getting hungry.
How often do you eat? Do you eat like?
God, so often.
Well,
I
I know
literally
you
just
eat,
eat
like-
whenever I'm hungry.
Fair enough. 'Cause I know you eat like periodically, but like you don't get full like in one sitting. Because you don't like the feeling of being full. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
But I am one of those who will like I'll sit there and eat like like a dog and thinking I'll never have another meal again or some shit.
Yeah.
But
no,
I'm better about that. I'm just like, you know, I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll try not to get like tired full.
Yeah, I can't
feel like I'm
give
in a
myself
coma.
the itis all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I never get
I want to
anything
feel like
done.
I'm in a coma.
No.
Like I feel like I'm in a coma every single time I eat. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't need that. I get tired easy enough as it is now.
Mhm.
Well, plus, I don't know. I think my blood sugar stuff probably has a lot to do with why I try not to eat to that extent. Because I think it messes me up. Like, I think eating too much probably messes my blood sugar up in a way that is unpleasant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think way more about the rest of this page.
Thinking.
But
Still morning for me.
I got like 2/3 of it just finished off. I just have to make the lettering look good. So that's nice.
I got a big last scene you got going on.
Yep. This is kind of like a reveal setting scene, setting change kind of thing. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to call it there. Just thinking about diving the rest of the way into this scene is more than my brain can handle right now.
Oh.
Like, I know what I want to do with it, but I'm going to have to do a lot more brain work because this
I gotcha.
Like, I've got some design stuff I want to do and like some world stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I like what you're doing with that. As someone who's had to draw quite a lot of vehicles, like cars and stuff, for advertisement things, I fully appreciate not drawing the interior details of a car.
I am trying to shortcut it pretty hard.
You're doing a good job, because realistically, that's all you need.
Yeah, because that's just like too much information in the back. I'm just trying like enough that there's like a window on the other side.
You don't even need that, because the seat will cover that up.
Yeah. What layer is this? What did I do? Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh. This layer. Trying to emphasize more of the rooftop, because the angle or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
honestly,
it's kind of like a down, looking down up angle, I guess. So
yeah,
it's like
so you would see, you would actually see the window from like just above her shoulder. I think about right there is what you would see, and you wouldn't see any of the window behind her. Like her, whatever, like her chair would cover that up.
True.
Yeah.
She's kind of like in a limo, so like the chairs are weird.
Oh, then
so
you would see.
Yeah, I have to like.
Yeah, just drop a line from like her wrist up to right above her elbow at that angle. Right.
Like there's chairs like.
Yeah. Because they make the limo things like they don't have the high back seats.
They kind of have it pretty low, but.
Yeah.
And there's other characters in the car too, and I'm like, oh, that's too much. That's not too much. And then I'm gonna like, just kind of emphasize the light in it. I'm not gonna make it that bright either. So boom, there you go.
Yep, they're gonna have a good time.
Okay, just gonna put this layer, combine it, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not touching anymore. Like it's over, it's done. Time to color everything else.
Alright, it's been fun, everybody. I'm gonna stop my stream now.
Yep, thank you for jumping